Hi everyone! If you're new here, my name is Heather Sparkles and I'm a vintage toy collector who also loves restoring them. So welcome to Toy Makeovers, the series where we give old toys life again. In today's episode, we're going to be working on this vintage My Little Pony. Her name is Streaky and she's from the Rainbow Curl Pony line, which is my favorite line of ponies for obvious reasons. I've had her for a long time and I've been wanting to restore her forever, so I'm really excited to be working on this project with you guys. So Streaky has a few issues going on. The first one is that her curls are in very poor condition. They're kind of stretched out and matted and tangled. So I'm going to be showing you guys how to tame pony hair today, and I'm going to be recurling her hair so you guys can learn how to curl your own pony's hair. I also wanted to say that in this video we're going to be working with like hot water, and so if you are a child, make sure you have an adult that can help you. The other issue that she has going on is that her body's leaning very badly, so she falls over a lot. So I'm going to be trying a few things today just to kind of correct her pose. So the first step to pony restoration is removing the heads. You don't always have to do this, but for certain issues you might have to. So I've removed like 100 pony heads and I've never had this problem where I could not get the head off. And I ended up finding out that part of the plug inside was actually like fused to her body, and the glue was just like the strongest glue I've ever seen on a pony head. So I unfortunately had to cut through the head. It's okay though, because I'm just gonna glue it back on. It's an inconvenience for the future, but it's okay. I just wanted to start working on her so badly, so I don't recommend that though. Really try your very best to get the head off without cutting it. So I ended up putting a funnel in her neck, and then I put a toilet paper roll between her legs. The toilet paper roll probably isn't the best thing. You can also use like chip clips, and people use like big markers. So I am gonna be putting hot water in her body today to reshape her. So I got the water to where it was steaming and there was a little bit of bubbles, but it's not boiling. Once again, you can get burned doing this, so please be careful. I cannot be responsible if you get a boo-boo. So I ended up putting a little bit of the hot water into the funnel. Now you want to go slow because it's about to overflow right here. You really don't need that much water at all to fill up her body. So this is where I took the funnel out, and then I noticed that the toilet paper roll got soaked. So once again, use something plastic. So I propped her up on a cup, and there's like a paper towel in there absorbing any extra water. And now it's time to put our pony in the freezer, which makes for some really great Instagram photos and freaking out your family. So in she goes, and you can honestly leave them in the freezer for as long as you want. I left her in for an hour. So the whole point of what I did just then was to reset her shape. So basically you're heating up the vinyl and then you're setting it in the freezer. So look at those back legs. They're so much more further apart now, and it's crazy like how effective that is. But her body is still leaning and still having a lot of problems going on. So I was just really trying to figure out what I could do at this point for her, because her back legs were better, but she was still a little bit off. So I was comparing her to my favorite pony in my collection, Fizzy, because they're the same pose, and I was just trying to figure out like which legs were causing the issue, because from here it's going to actually be a lot easier to work on her because her legs are much more evened out now. So from here we're actually going to do another round. So first though, I need to take out her tail because I saw she had a little bit of tail rust, and it's always good to take the metal washers out of them so they don't cause any future problems because they corrode over time. So I have one of these thingies, this tool, whatever it is, and I'm reaching in there to get the tail out. And then I was doing my best to try to get it. And you just got to kind of work very slowly, and then eventually you get it out, and there you go. Now she no longer has the tail, so it'll be much easier to work on her that way and to work on the tail. So my solution for this round was that I decided to stick a bag clip or like a chip clip in between her legs, and I have like a hair elastic on there just to kind of hold it in place the way I wanted. Basically, I got her balancing by herself on the plate. That's like so important. And we did the whole thing over again with the boiling water, and we put her back in. So here I was, checking it out, seeing if it made it any better. I did notice this time around her body like kind of opened up a bit more. She wasn't as smashed. It looks a lot better. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's much better. So now it's time for me to work on her hair. So during this whole process, I'm using cold water because we just went through like setting her pose and everything, so we don't want to use anything hot. Plus, I really didn't want to use hot water on the curls. I just wanted to kind of fix the curls. So basically what I did was that I separated each curl by color, and I did my best to try to like get the tangled hair apart. And then I am going to take some human hair conditioner. Any kind will do. The cheaper, the better. It's all good. And I'm basically going to put it on those curls, and I'm just going to work it through each one of those. And then we're going to let it sit for a while so it can kind of soak in. You don't have to let this sit too long. Here's where I was trying to get the washer out of the tail, and then I could see the tail rust, and it really wasn't so bad. So basically I put the conditioner in the tail, and it made the washer come right out. Before then, I couldn't get the washer off. It's normally not so hard, but whenever you have curly hair, it can make the washer get stuck easier. So now it was time for me to brush out the curls. So basically what I did was I held the hair at the base so that way it's not going to like pull out anything, and I just started brushing section by section. The conditioner is still in the hair at this point, by the way. So you're just going to go brush, brush, brush on each one until it's nice and smooth. Like I said, just work from the ends down and make sure you hang on to the hair tight so you're not going to rip any out. But you can already see like the difference the conditioner and brushing makes. Like, it's actually pretty easy to like unmat their hair. It's really amazing. So I'm sure there are some collectors that are kind of mad at me right now for many things I've done in this video. I'm sure the way I removed the head isn't really going to go over too well. I'm disappointed with myself for that. I did not want it to go down that way. And now I am brushing out factory curls. Oh no. But honestly, they were just so tangled in person, and some of them were stretched out. So basically what I'm doing right here is I am brushing them out so we can make them nice and smooth for whenever I go to curl them, and the results are going to be absolutely stunning. So I ended up doing the same thing with the tail. I didn't separate it or anything. I kind of wish I had, but it ended up working out perfectly fine in the end. You guys are going to love the end result for how pretty the tail turned out. I still can't believe it. Her tail was a little bit frizzy, so I just brushed it out, and there it is, nice and smooth. I just love like pulling the conditioner off at the end. So now what you're going to do is you're going to wash all of that conditioner out, and you kind of pat their hair dry. And this is where I put their hair into straw curlers. So I have some of those bigger straws, and basically we're creating ringlet curl today. So we are trying to get these like big giant curls. We're not going to separate them or anything. So basically you want to twist the hair into a straw as tight as possible, and then you are going to put some clips on it. You can use little hair clips or bobby pins like I'm using there. You don't have to put them on all the way. That'll make it less likely that you're going to damage the curl when you go to remove them. You can also use pencils, markers, all kinds of stuff. Anything that's round like this you could totally use. So now you guys can enjoy watching me struggle to curl the hair. I found that kind of starting at the bottom seems to work best. Oh, and another thing I wanted to say is that if you don't want the ends of the curls to be kind of frayed out, make sure you wrap them with something, whether it be a piece of cloth or a piece of toilet paper or so many different things. You can use, some people use ribbon. That'll keep those ends from fraying out. I also just wanted to clarify something. So the hair should still be wet. I did say that I pat it dry. That's so it's not like soaking wet. So whenever it dries, like it won't be damp underneath anywhere. You definitely want the hair to be wet, so as it dries, it'll hold that shape really nicely. Just wanted to make sure I cleared that up for you guys. So now it's time to curl the tail, and I was all out of straws, so I ended up using mechanical pencils, which would have been great if they did not have the rubber grips on them, so make sure you take those off or use something else first. And then I put the chip clip back in her legs so that way she could set overnight and she wouldn't lose her pose. Alright guys, so now it's time for the most fun part of pony restoration, revealing those beautiful curls. I love this part. So you want to start by removing all the clips very carefully. This is why I only like to clip the very ends, so that way you're not going to worry about damaging anything. I am so excited right now for you guys to see how they turned out. So here we go, and yay, we have a beautiful ringlet curl just like on the box art. It is absolutely perfect. The rainbow curl ponies were known for these like ringlet curls, so I'm not going to be separating them, but I'm sure if I did, she would just have the most beautiful, crazy, bouncy curls. I am just like so blown away by how beautiful this turned out. So now it's time for the tail, and like I said, I had an epic fail. So I was trying so hard to pull it off, but the rubber was in the way, so I just kind of uncurled it by twisting it, and actually ended up looking okay. I don't know if it would have looked any different otherwise, if the curl would have been more solid, but it didn't turn out so bad. So now it's time to put the tail back into the body. All I'm doing is just poking it in. I wasn't worried about making it permanent or anything like that. So there's actually going to be a part 2 to this video because she still has a bit of a lane to her. So in the next episode, I'm going to be trying to weigh down her legs, and then we're going to glue her head back on all the way. But it looks like if she just has a little bit of weight on the other side of her body, it'll even out the other one. So I'm going to try to weigh down that leg with something. I have a few ideas already, and I'll update you guys whenever I do that. All right, so are you ready to see this before and after? Here's how she looked before. You can see how close together her legs were and how those curls were all stretched out. And now here is how she looks now. She has these beautiful bouncy curls, and I just love her so much. It makes me feel so good to know that I was finally able to give her this makeover. She turned out beautiful. Let me know in the comments section down below what you guys think. And on this mirrored turntable, you can see how her legs are still kind of raised up. She needs to be leaning onto the side that is raised up in the air. So like I said, we're gonna be working on that. Check out the next episode. Don't know when it'll be, but I will update you guys. So I thought I would share a few pieces of my rainbow curl pony collection. So I do have all the ponies, and I have this incredible thermos and lunchbox set. So on the lunchbox, she has a horn. On the thermos, she's like in the flutter pony shape, and she does not have a horn. Those two pieces are some of my favorites in my collection. I also have this incredible sleeping bag. So it has the rock and beat ponies on it and the rainbow curls. She looks amazing on the sleeping bag. Like it actually looks like her. Oh my gosh, I just love all the rainbow curl ponies. They are so gorgeous. So that's about it for this episode of Toy Makeovers. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to be bringing this series back, and I am just so excited to be doing that. I also wanted to say that I've had the sleeping bag for quite a few years. It was a Christmas present. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode of Toy Makeovers. I hope you guys really enjoyed it. I will see you all in my next video. Bye!